This is a picture of Jane Nevin in 1969. Her age?
15, 16, and yes, I was a very naughty girl and very promiscuous in those days.
40 years on, Jane wanted to talk to me about that time, to put the record straight about one specific sexual relationship with the BBC DJ John Peel. You met John Peel at a Black Sabbath gig. How young were you?
15.
Was that abuse?
No. I totally wanted it. I wanted to be with him. And I didn't really feel that he was so old, and I wasn't going to tell him I was so young either.
He didn't know?
No, of course he didn't. Am I going to say, oh, by the way, I'm 15?
So why did she speak to the papers? She says it's because the Jimmy Savile revelations had thrown up questions about other DJs. It's been claimed John Peel's first wife was 15 when they got married. She wanted to make a point about what was and what wasn't abuse.
John Peel has perhaps got a bit of a tarnish on him now, which partly my fault, and it shouldn't be that way. He was marvellous, he was lovely to me.
But it was a time when boundaries were being blurred.
So somebody said, let me take you to bed. And with my
Take the words of this song, Vagabond Virgin.
You were barely 13, a child from the villages.
13? In the 60s, the young Virginia Ironside was a groovy rock columnist for the Daily Mail. Today, she's an agony aunt, and she feels free love brought great unhappiness.
You were expected to sleep with everybody. The whole idea of no means no, in the 60s, that didn't really exist. As far as age goes, again, it was all blurred. It's curious how this, the Jimmy Savile stuff has sparked in a lot of my friends of my own age a real feeling of misery about how things were in the 60s and how abused we felt.
It was, she says, a time of sexual chaos. This is Jimmy Savile's autobiography, written in 1974. And on the final page, his final thought, it's all about sex, young ladies, and the risk of going to prison. Now, did no one question this at the time? For some it was an era of liberation, but in the upheaval men took advantage. And if he wanted to speak out, who was listening? 40 years on, we're facing the reckoning. David Sillito, BBC News.